Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here, and I got a question today from Inderdad Minir. Hope I pronounced that name right. Apologize if I didn't. Inderdad wants to know, according to you, is wearing a heart rate monitor necessary or not when doing high intensity exercise? And this is a great question because a heart rate monitor is simply a tool that gives you more data during your workouts. And what I mean by that is simple. Like, let's say you're doing something very straightforward, like a hill sprint or a rower sprint or a cycling sprint. You can measure your progress by looking at the output on the cardio machine versus your heart rate. So the higher output and the lower the heart rate, the more you're getting cardiovascular results, the more you're making your cardiovascular system efficient. So it's really just a tool. It's a data tool that you can use to get better results because you have more information about your particular training. Now, that being said, I think it's advanced enough that probably 95% of people training out there, maybe more, maybe like 99% of people out there, will not utilize it for what it's really worth, okay? And generally speaking, with a heart rate monitor, I use heart rate as a reference to give you an idea of what intensity zone you're in. So what that basically means is, generally speaking, if you want to do some lower intensity exercise, that fat burning zone, I try to get people in 65% or under of their maximum heart rate. But you can just go for a walk and then pause for a second and take your heart rate on your neck and look at your watch and just count for 15 seconds and then multiply that number by 4. That'll give you your heart rate zone, right? That'll give you a percentage of your maximum heart rate, okay? Actually, just real quick, that your maximum heart rate, generally speaking, is 220 minus your age. So that's your maximum heart rate. Once you find out the other heart rate, that'll give you a percentage of that maximum heart rate. Now, the second component is with high intensity training, right? Why do I go for 85% or above? Well, I want to make sure that your high intensity training isn't medium intensity training in disguise. And that really bugs me when somebody goes to a 90-minute boot camp class and they're just beating themselves down for 90 minutes like that was high intensity. When in reality, you can't do high intensity work for 90 minutes. It's impossible, right? So if they put a heart rate monitor on, they might look down and see that they're in the 70-75% range, and they think they're doing themselves a favor, that they think they're in that high intensity zone, when in reality, they're just in that medium intensity zone, which tends to be less favorable towards your body composition, right? So why do I like the heart rate? I like to give you it as a guideline so that you can know when you're in that high intensity zone and when you're in that low intensity zone. I generally like people to avoid that area between 65 and 85% of your maximum heart rate. And then other than that, I don't think you really need it. It's not a necessary tool unless you're really into tracking all of the data. And if you're doing high intensity exercise, you can have your heart rate monitor measure your average heart rate over the course of a workout. The next time you can do it, you can see if your heart rate goes down and the workout stays the same, or the workout goes harder and the heart rate stays the same, all right? So if that makes sense, you can start tinkering around with heart rate monitors and you can get more data on your training. But if that's too complex, all you gotta do is just go out there, kick some butt, take your pulse, see if it's at 85% or more of your maximum heart rate, and then you'll know you're in that high intensity zone, all right? It's really that simple. Don't complicate it. Don't do too much. Don't chase shiny objects if you really don't feel like you understood what I just said, okay? Otherwise, like this video, leave a comment below, let me know what you think, ask me any questions you want, and I'm gonna make a video just like this to help you look, feel, and perform your best, all right? Thanks for watching.